to Exile's One Portal. I am Mr. Coughy, once again joined by Kasper,
Yep.
and we're just looking into some of the gameplay footage and motivations that the developers have given us on their PoE take and why they're doing it. Some of their insight on bosses. Very interesting to see.
Yeah, during the 20-minute gameplay demo that they had, which I have one here by Wild Games SK account on YouTube, which is probably not the Path of Exile channel,
No, it's
obviously,
not.
but the they kind of break it down a little bit as to what the motivation. Now, I don't know. Now, I'm sitting here thinking about this. Was this made by Wild Gamer SK, or was this originally part of the original video?
I think all the game. I think what they did is like they've been putting together all the gameplay footage.
Yeah. Um. Yeah. So I'm not gonna actually show that then, because he had a really way of like basically summarizing everything, but I just realized that it's not GGG's original words. It's just him kind of just talking over some of the graphics, which is not probably an accurate representation. So I'm not gonna share it. I had an original intention of just sharing that, but talking about Path 2.
They were saying that they want more like Souls like kind of mechanics where things
Yeah.
are telegraphed and you're
Well,
not feeling robbed for basically just having shit cheap you out. Which is a good design philosophy. That's what makes Souls games so good. Is
the
that when you do
dodge, the dodge
yeah,
is what gives it away.
it's
The dodge, whatever that button that you get to like dodge out the way of damage.
I just feel like this is gonna be one of those times where I'm gonna be playing this game, right, and I'm gonna be loving it. But then there's gonna be a point where I'm just gonna be like, dude, I wish I could bring my Path One character here because
I wish it could be as ridiculous as Path One.
right. I want to blast, right? But with how fucking pretty this game is, I don't think they could.
I mean, it might just look different. The blasting in this game might just look different because if all the bosses require you to actually legitimately dodge, that means that you might not be able to one tap things.
Which I'm not gonna lie, dude, would sadden me. That's kind of
But
like half.
I say that with a big ass caveat. We don't know what the end game looks like.
That's also true.
You know what I mean? When you start juicing up some of your characters, we know what path players are capable of. So, you know, you might just be able to two tap them and skip phases and shit. And I mean, they do it now. So,
Yeah, but it's what I don't know, dude. The role is giving it away for me. I don't think
I think if there is going to be blasting, I think there is going to be that element of path one that there is. I just think it's going to look different. You're not going to see the littered version of what we have now, where it's just like fucking, just you can't see the floor. I think a lot of it is going to be what's that word I'm looking for? You know, like you see like a lot of the spells that they showed during the gameplay is like charging up.
charging up stances and
Yeah,
combos
a
and
lot of the one taps that you're gonna see are gonna be associated with those kind of skills. Where I just seen the barbarian do like the triple jump.
mhm.
We're gonna end up seeing a boss be killed by one of those. And every time he jumps, it's gonna take off like a third of the life. Poof, poof,
Yeah,
poof,
but
dead.
but I want zoomies and fucking. I just want the screen to explode. Like,
I think it's gonna be a bit because they're gonna have movement speed. They're gonna have all that stuff. They haven't shown us not a single pair of boots with movement speed.
they haven't shown us any gear really.
Yeah, everything all the gear that we've seen is like magic or whites. And I
You
think
know
they
what it
showed
is?
us one yellow
Hold
one that was like on the.
actually. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry to interrupt. I don't want to lose this thought. I just realized what's making me so uneasy about it, bro. And it's the fact that it's really, really reminding me of like last Epoch,
Mm,
which isn't necessarily a bad thing, right? It's prettier than last Epoch,
Last
and
Epoch
it's
plays more like D4 though.
that's my that's kind of my problem. It's kind of my problem. I path is very much not D4.
Hmm.
It's not even D3, right? Like that's why a good section of us are still here playing fucking Path. I feel like I like look at like dude, there was nothing like super wrong with Last Epoch. We've
No.
played games that have had bigger issues on launch or bigger issues in their game and continue to play them through those issues because the game is fun. I feel I'm really nervous that PoE 2 is going to be very like, oh yeah, I play it for like a week or two on league day and that's it. Like I don't want PoE 2 to be in that spot. And I feel like if we're not getting like these crazy fucking high ends, bro, there's nothing to like push for because if think about it, right? I haven't seen good map density yet at all.
At all. Yeah.
I
But
see a
they've only
lot of
been playing through the first couple of acts.
that's true,
The
I
first couple of
suppose.
acts in Path 1 has no density either. We don't even know what the end game looks like, bro. We don't know what maps look like. We don't know even know what there even are maps. So what's the end game for this Path 2? We don't know what it looks like. They've only showed us like the first two acts.
There's more bosses they've shown than two acts. I don't know, maybe, but again, like I can't. But then again, I can't imagine how. First of all, it also makes me worried because I don't think if I'm playing Path One at the speed or playing Path Two at the speed of Path One, I don't think my computer can handle it at all. My shit's gonna fuck explode. Like I'm where, but then what has been problematic for Path One has never been like normal gameplay like that, right? It's always when we get into these later ones,
Yeah.
fucking put some
Shit.
wild
Even
wheel.
like I'm telling you, I'm embarrassed to know. I'm embarrassed enough that every time we hit a crazy delirium, that my game just crashes. It says, "Well, nope, I'm done."
Yeah.
And it's just
And,
like, no, that's not what we do. No, no, no. Fuck that.
oh, just fuck that shit. Yeah, it
Yeah, it's
hurts.
like I'm
Especially,
upgrading my
especially,
computer. Fuck that. No.
especially with your NASA fucking computer, bro. Yeah.
It's not even NASA, man. It's just the fucked up part about it. I know like, there's, I know there's plenty of upgrades that I can do. I just haven't done it because I haven't really been. It hasn't really been necessary. I'll play fucking Cyberpunk on like 4K, bro. It'll be fine. I fucking play just a slightly beefed up Path One map, and it's just got crash. It's like,
Okay, slightly beefed up is a fucking way
okay,
underestimated.
we are doing 40% delivery on maps. There's still
T17.
60, there's still 60, 70, and 100%, which people do.
Well, yeah, but I would never go that high. I can't. My computer can't take it. So you
I
would be
know,
just doing
but this the
alone.
my computer can barely handle fucking 40%. That's bullshit. That's to me that's the main problem with Path One. The fact that you need a fucking uh, uh, um, a CERN computer just to goddamn run those maps. Like, it's come on. Like, I think this is why I keep saying that Path Two's end game is gonna look a lot different. It won't be a lot of the the pollution, the particle pollution that
Mhm.
we're used to in Path One. But it doesn't mean that it's not gonna be juicy. It's
I'm
gonna be
hope.
juicy. It's just we're gonna have to like. It's not gonna be a right clicking game where you just right click, move, right click, right click, move, right click. No, you're gonna have to sit there dodge shit and like combos, and like it's gonna be really like you're gonna
But the
feel like you're
whole point,
playing the game.
but the whole point of Path, in my personal view, is to get to the point in the game where that's what you're doing. You play the game to circumvent the game.
I think going far enough, I think your build may be able to do that. Your build may just be able to go like I seen the necromancer that uses the bones charge, the bone shards. She
Hmm.
charges it up and then throws it.
Yeah.
I could see that. I could see a whole screen of that shit, and just like her charging it, walking, and just throwing in a whole screen of fucking blue mobs just delete.
Right, but the thing is like I don't know, man. I don't know. You see, I know you feel my reservations. I know you know what I'm talking about.
My
All right.
hesitation is the souls like. See,
And
my
that's
hesitation is that because I don't really like Souls games.
you see, I like Souls games, but the problem is I don't play Souls games for the same reason I play Path. I play Souls games to get that challenge. I play Path to solve problems. You know what I mean? To me, Path is more of a numbers game and trying to figure out the best way to do certain shit with
Hmm.
the resources that you have, and it's more like a puzzle. But like with Souls, I'm like, dude, I'm sorry, I'm
It's a
old.
skills. It's
I
a
don't
skills
I don't
based.
have the reactions.
Yeah, it's a skill
There's a
based. It's
reason,
more like dodging, more timing, reaction time.
right? There's a reason why, like, to do high end maps in PoE, you go to 90% res because you don't. There's it's dodging shit. Most shit is irrelevant.
Can't see
You have
shit.
to be able to. You just have to survive it, and that's what I like about it. You have to survive it or kill it. Like, like and I'm a fan of that weird place that Path of Exile is, where it's just like you could be, dude. Think about it, man. Think about it, dude. Even in the campaign, we're not fucking playing the game like PoE with like PoE two. You tell me. I think the one time, the three times it happens where you're fucking actually having to fight a boss like that is Kitava.
Yeah, there's a few
And
more times, but
Kitava and Merveil. And if you bring up any other ones, I'm just gonna disagree with you. Merveil because it's really early and most people don't have like the fucking, oh, I'm gonna go get a +1/1 that fucking
there's
at the vet.
Dominus. That
I think
lightning attack can fuck you up if you're not careful with it. And his
all right,
fist, the
and
fist of God.
I guess Chevron too. Like so like six or seven times throughout the campaign that you're actually having to like do that shit. And
And then
then
like Jonathan was like, he wants to make every hit from a boss feel like you're getting hit. So
right.
that when you do defeat the boss, it feels that much more satisfying to defeat the
Hmm.
boss.
Yeah.
That makes me feel like farming bosses may not be the go-to thing unless they make them really juicy. Like, you know what I mean? Like they're hard as fuck to kill, but when they do, they always drop some banana ass drop.
My assumption is that it's okay. So this is the other thing. My assumption is it's gonna use the same basic fucking like tier zero unique kind of system that it uses now, where you're gonna have certain shit that drops from bosses. You're gonna have certain shit that can only be dropped from like pinnacle or like end game. I think that's what you're gonna be doing, and you're gonna be kind of hunting for like good pieces of gear, good uniques, fucking same thing that we're doing here. But I feel that the speed of it is going to be a lot slower,
Mm, yeah. Okay.
and it's one of those things where like as we play Path, the goal of the game is to shorten how long you're in maps in a weird way. You want to kill shit faster so you can get more done. And in a situation where the game feels like it's slowing you down based on like because I've played one or two slower builds, but there's a point where that shit just feels awful.
Question: Did
Hmm.
you receive an invite to play the beta?
No.
Did you receive any email from
Yes.
Grindr? Did you fill out the survey?
Yes.
Okay. I didn't fill out the survey. I just realized now. I'm looking at it, I'm like, huh, I don't know if I ever clicked this thing. So I'm a little
Oh,
bummed out. I could have had a chance. But yeah.
just double check.
I honestly, would I would like to do the beta? Yes. Am I disappointed in not doing the beta? No. I'm okay with not trying the beta. I want it. When I try Path 2, I want it to be as good as it can get. That way, I have the best. I can give it the best review I can possibly give it. Like I don't.
I get you, but I kind of want to see gear. There's
There's a
too many questions.
crazy NDA right now when it comes to Path 2 right now.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I probably wouldn't talk about. I wouldn't even care.
We
I
couldn't
want
record. Yeah, we couldn't record. We would probably just talk like little schoolgirls in the gym locker,
to.
like he had a big dick. Oh my god.
But it's one of those things where I have to know. I not have to, but I want to know. Like for my own curiosity, I'm really curious how they're going to make it work, how gear looks, how rolling gear works. You know what I mean? These things are the things that are important to me in path. I need to know what my path to are you guys limiting how fast I can be by just making it so like, oh yeah, only one piece of gear can roll attack speed.
Well,
Like like I don't want that. I want things to be as open as it is now, where it's just like if they go oops, we broke something, that they don't fucking just bring in the ban hammer and change everything, or that they're just not allowing players. I'm just
well, I
nervous.
mean,
There's no I
I'm
have
not
no
ner-
evidence.
I'm not nervous about that because remember, this is the same team that worked on Path One. It's the same company, and they don't really do that now with Path One. They let shit play out, and then eventually they see how far it can go before they nuke it from space. And in the meantime, they really learn from like experimental ways. Are they gonna are they gonna set up the same system? That's what I'm curious about. Are they gonna set up the 3 to 4 month league system?
I think they're going to be doing that, but on an offset for path, so
Because
that
you got
they'll
to
be
think
going.
about that. Like how like I'm not even worried about it competing with Path 4. I'm not worried about that. I'm more worried about like how are they gonna be testing things? How are they gonna nerf things? What is their seasons gonna look like? The biggest one of the biggest things I love about Path 1 versus any other ARPG is the fact that their seasons don't feel useless.
Right.
Like the
I get
league
you.
content just feels like this is new shit, bro. It is every 3 to 4 months. It's new shit. What I've seen of D4 when they're there's a new season. It's just like it's the same game. It's just like we reset the ladder. Um, might be some updates, might be some not updates. It might just be like that the last epic, same thing, same game, overall gameplay. It just they use the new league as an excuse to give it some updates.
Yeah.
But it's not new content really. It's more like just updates. Then they'll come up when they came out with 1.0. 1.0 was the first time that they said, okay, we're gonna reset this new season. But it just doesn't feel like I think we've been spoiled a little bit by Path, but
Honestly, I don't. I feel like Path is doing what they should do. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to downplay the extraordinariness of what they're doing. In the current gaming market, what they're doing is beautiful. And unfortunately, it's not getting them nearly as much attention as it should. But that I feel like this should be the normal, where if you're going to have something called a league or something like that of that nature, where you're supposed to be bringing people back in for something, you have to give them more. You can't sit there and be like, oh, we fixed the way guns work and we added an auction house. There you go, fucking patch 1.2. Like, what the fuck is that?
And it wasn't even that great of an implementation of the auction
It was an
house.
awful implementation.
Yeah, it
Like
was.
I, mm,
You tie it to some kind of weird leveling system in which you have to then level it up, but it takes forever. You have to grind this shit out. So then you're locked into that process in order to use the items to then level up your items. It's like you don't want people trading items. It's like uh, I had this complaint about Path a while ago, and I don't know if we had. I don't think we had the podcast at that time, but I've always felt very early on Path was not really inviting to team play.
fair.
Like a lot of the content that they released would not really cater for team play. It was more detrimental to play with the people than it was to just play by yourself. And one of my complaints was the fact that it made when you play with someone else, the content just got harder. Now, this is before I understood and knew how to really play Path the way I do now, right? It doesn't even fucking matter anymore to me.
Mm-mm.
But and I guess once you pass that knowledge threshold, it does. But Last Epic from the very beginning, and I have no experience with D4, so I don't know. But Last Epic from the very beginning felt like they did not want you to play with other people.
There were so many barriers.
So many fucking barriers. It's ridiculous. You can't trade your items. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like I don't care about a auction house. Look at Path. Path for a longer time didn't have an auction house. People just knew how to connect each other. Like, hey, listen, bro, I got this item. You want this item? Like, what's up? I mean, like, this is natural of community. This is what builds community. But from the very beginning, Last Epic was like, no, just grind on your own, and that's it. And it's just like, okay, so why am I doing this to begin with? Part of the original philosophy of video games is to play with people, play with friends, play, I mean, like, have a collective experience. This is way back from the Nintendo to get names. You know what I'm saying? This is one reason why they had two controllers.
Yeah.
And then Nintendo 64 went crazy with four controllers, right? And then we got online play. Video games, for the very essence, is to play with other people. So why in the year of our Lord are you making a video game that completely just eliminates that factor of playing with other people?
Or discourages it is hard because again, I think you're right. Path party play is not inviting, and the game never really stresses that it's a big thing to do.
Well, it punishes you. But again, we
But
said that in other episodes.
yeah,
The game
I
is
don't act,
punishing.
I don't even think it's actually punishing you, right? So, mathematically speaking, if both of us are both playing and we're both just about as good, it gives it 50% more health, but there's two fucking players doing it. Look how I think I'm giving you more than just an extra character of damage,
I feel like it used to be more
right?
actually. Back in the day?
It no, it's 50%
No,
for
man,
just
like
two people.
years ago. It used to be 100%, I think. I think they toned it
Oh,
down.
I I don't know. I actually don't know the history on that one. But I do know that since I've been playing, it's been 50% per person in your maps. Which again, I don't think that's bad. Like I think that's a good thing because when you go, you don't want the both of us to sit there and just blast through fucking everything. You want to give people a chance to hit something, and usually 50% more health for most players is enough to where, oh yeah, I caught up to that rare too. You know what I mean? I at least in my head. To me,
Yeah,
it makes sense.
yeah.
But once you get to the point where like you're gaming, right, and you and your homie got some good builds, I fucking your homie rolls to a fucking Orobot so that you can just blast shit.
Well,
What are
that's
your maps?
advanced coordination. It doesn't happen in early stages.
It doesn't. But even when we were doing, our little first rudimentary couple party plays with it was just me, you, and Alex, and we're all bad. Like we were doing maps, all three of us. Granted, our schedules never really lined up to do it like dedicatedly, but we were doing some stuff, and it wasn't like rewarding for everybody, but you know what I mean. Like it's just one of those things where it just took it took us actually having to put effort into it, and
Yeah.
I do believe that path could serve to maybe bring in some incentive to party play that's a little bit more than just, oh, you get more loot.
I think that there's the space for highly coordinated gameplay,
Like
which
raids.
yeah, which isn't really advertised. It's not really like, hey,
Actually, hold up. I disagree with what I just said. Raids would be an awful idea in Path.
yeah, imagine 10 players
Not even that.
blasting
Like,
MTX.
yeah, like it's Path is too crazy for that.
You think Delirium is
Yeah,
bad?
it's not only that, but you'd have one guy that goes into every raid and just fucking one shots the boss. Like
Nah, I
I'm
don't.
not, and I'm not complaining about that as a concept,
I think
but
I think a raid, depending on how many players you're talking about, right?
I'm talking like five, like
All right.
not even like a big
So
amount. Like
let's say 10.
10 would be too much. There's too many.
But I'm
There's
talking about
too much.
Path 2.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, yeah.
You took the
Okay.
scale of a Path 2 boss and you just add 10 players. So the purpose of the Path 2 boss is to kill it, but you need 10 players, right? This would be crazy and revolutionary in a lot of ways because that means that you would have to create a party system that allows for 10 players. Oh,
Well, it's been done in
and
other
then
games.
yeah, and then but never in Path. That's what I'm saying. So it would pour the genre. It would be kind of like crazy. Um, and then you would have to be able to pan out your screen far enough to kind of be able to see both the boss and whatever the fuck you're doing. Because part of that it's probably gonna like let's say the boss spawns three mini bosses, so the team of 10 people have to break off into little teams to be able to kill this boss. Three bosses coordinated, kind of like a WoW boss,
Hmm.
right? Whenever they did raids, it's kind of how functionality how they did. Like oh, one group focuses on the ads and the other one focuses on the boss. Turn the boss around, only make it look like to the rest of the group. That's a traditional MMORPG style raid. Could they do Path to it? it, it's nothing. It's nothing that they can't do with the amount of emphasis that they're putting on the bosses for Path
I
2.
don't know. I think that would end up being.
It might break the fucking game, but you know.
I think it would end up being like really boring in the fact of like either you're the person blasting it or no one else is really getting a chance. Because well, at
But
least with the
that's
fact
every game though.
no, it isn't.
If
Like
you tell me you got a top tier WoW DPS, top tier,
mhm,
right?
mhm,
Does the most
mhm,
damage. You invite
mhm.
him to a low tier raid. You tell me he's not gonna be able to go in there and like blast everything?
Well, he gets nothing out of the raid. It's
I
like
know he
saying
doesn't. I know he
no, no, hold
doesn't.
on. It's like saying you going back to a tier one map for a guy. You're neither of you guys are getting anything really worth it,
But
so
that's
it
what
doesn't really matter.
that's what we're talking about.
But
Having
even
the
then,
ability of one person blasting
and,
the content.
and even then, right? In that situation, as long as you're not like so, the short answer to your question is yes. The long answer to your question is no, because of the way the tier system works. Yes, if you go to last league's content, you could blast it easier because of power creep. Things just in WoW do that. Or as expansions go on, you need to be getting stronger. And that usually means the prior raids, yes, they're blasting those really quickly. But if WoW releases multiple raids in one expansion and they're of different difficulties, the person at the very high end is not going to go and be fucking five-shotting bosses. He's going to be doing definitely more damage than everybody else, but it's going to be way less than it. Like the damage scaling and the difference in how in people's damage is not as much as it is in Path. You, for instance, the guy that you were talking about earlier, how much damage do you think he did?
What guy?
The guy that you helped earlier, the noob.
Oh, nah, he was on fucking
No, no, but seriously, no, no, no,
just
because that's an average player. How much damage do you think he did?
hundreds.
So now we
In
go
the
into the
map, in an act that he should be doing thousands.
right. So now you talk now that you think about this, right? Even that person, right? Say he by some miracle gets to maps and he's now doing tens of thousands of damage. And the raid requires billions of health because as we've seen, there's a dude on ladder fucking doing 2.1 billion damage per second with Hex Blast. There's no way to equal out that discrepancy to make it fair. And if you did, right? So say you want the boss to be 5 minutes, but one player does 500 times the damage of other players. Do you increase the health to where the average of the boss goes way higher because the peak of something is possible?
I think
You know,
there is
it's
a
just
way to
such a
do it, but I don't know if it's going to be satisfying.
you would have to do it with things that are in your own like gear progression.
You would do it percentage based attacks.
Oh no, that would suck dick.
Yeah, that would suck dick, right? But
Yeah,
if a single attack is 1% and then a power attack is 5% and then this attack is 10% and then your ultimate is going to be worth 20%.
but
So
that would
if you
take
do
all
percentage,
build diversity. That would take out so much build
oh
diversity
yeah, yeah, no, no,
because
it'll destroy the path as we know it. But I'm
yeah,
saying that's the only way to do it, where it doesn't matter if you do 8 billion damage or you do 1 billion damage. You ever seen them the Asian MMRs where I was I was referred to this because it's funny when they hit a creature and it's just like a humongous number,
yeah,
but the creature doesn't take any damage.
right,
That's kind of where, and then every time they hit the creature, they just see the million, billion, billion, 3 trillion, and there's these crazy numbers, but the creature's barely dead. Like it's
right.
like it.
But
That's
then
kind
that
of
would
where it would be. Yeah.
but that would mean like first of all, I understand that most people aren't seeing end game content anyway, and
Hmm.
this might be a fucking moot point. But then you'd never have anybody being able to do anything, and unless you are in that top fucking 1%, you'd
Well,
never
this
even
goes.
see.
It'll go based on skill, right? Which is what we fear. It's like, is Path to trying to go into the direction of more skill based gameplay and not just necessarily of um
Problem
math.
solving
Yeah,
and
math problem solving basically. Because if they lock you in to still doing the mechanics and having the need to still do dodging and all this stuff because maybe the bosses are doing percentage based attacks. So the so in other words, there's no math, and this happened with I'm trying to remember. Hold on, the lab. When lab was first introduced with ascendancies, it it murdered a lot of people because everything in lab was percentage based. So no matter what type of defenses you had, everything hit you based on a percentage. All the traps hit you in a percentage, and everything was pretty high up. So it was actually pretty difficult to actually do lab because of that. You needed like 4 life pots at times. That's the
yeah.
thing. That's the lady I stopped playing hardcore. By the way. Oh, it was terrible. It was terrible. Getting caught by those the the spikes. Oh my god, your whole life would flash before your eyes.
Though, I just remembered, right? So this is a moment that I bring up to Alex every now and again, but it's one of those things where like I remember the early part of the game, and Alex gave me my first quill raid, and I remember the moment my fucking brain exploded with, oh, they're gonna let me do this kind of shit.
Does
I
shooting
can't.
80,000 arrows a second.
Yeah, like for real. Like I was just like, oh, this is gonna be fucking fun. Like I just remember that so vividly of just being like they got me. They figured out my brain. They wanted me to they're allowing me to do whatever, pretty much whatever the fuck I want. because one item did this. Imagine if the rest of my gear were toward like specialized for, and I just exploded my brain with one item, and Alex could never understand like why that was the moment for me. And it's just there's something about the beauty of a developer just allowing you to enjoy their game and to just kind of do what you want with
Well,
it
they show
within
you
it.
the upper limit. That Quill Rain is a very early item that shows you the outrageousness of Path.
And it's cheap and early, and it's just like, what the fuck is this? This is
And you can just extrapolate it. You can just extrapolate from there. You're like, wait. You could do this much attacks, but I'm only level 3.
yeah, like just what is
How
this?
much
This is all.
faster can I get? And it's like, oh no, you can get much faster.
It's like you.
Um, so and then you see MTXs and stuff like, well, wait, I can add an MTX to this? Like what? So yeah, it's the Quill Rain. There's another one. What level 7 steps?
Oh, 7 league steps are like level. Hold up, I actually have a set.
60s? Or is it level 20s?
Hold up.
Because 7 steps is also another item that kind of shows you the outrageousness of Path. Because it makes you ridiculous fast.
14. No, wait, no. Item level 80. It doesn't have a requirement.
Okay,
7 league steps.
yeah. So I don't know what new player would get one of those, but let's just assume that you get lucky enough to get yourself a 7 steps and you just level
Or
5.
wanderlusts.
Wanderlust are pretty good, but I'm talking about outrageous items. You get yourself a 7 steps and you just realize how fast you can go,
And you're just
and
zooming.
you're only level 5.
You know what's funny though? You can get those through. You can get that same feeling through shrines, and you're like, wait, what the fuck? This is awesome.
Yeah,
You remember your first
yeah.
speed shrine?
The power, yeah. The superhuman power that it gives you. That's what fucking just. That's the Zana. Are you still saying Exile? That fucking like, oh my god, I'm God.
Just like I am the shit, dude. I'm walking through places and just murdering shit.
Like it's amazing how good the shrines are. Like I think this is a very under appreciated power creep that it gives you the power of God just for like 20 seconds.
Or a minute
Because
and a half if you get it in
most
your atlas.
builds, yeah, most builds, you get a shrine, bro, you good. For the next 20 seconds, you good. Like in any of them, it could be the health one, it could be the defense one, it can be the whatever. Any of them, any build would be like, you good. For the next 30 seconds, you good. No matter how strong you are or how weak you are, it has the same result. If that 1 3 billion player grabs a shrine, in his head he's like, I'm good. Like I'm good. I can keep going. I can go faster. I can
I got
go.
so much more.
Yeah, like it still gives you. It's still impactful throughout the entire um, length of the game. It's not like some content that becomes irrelevant as you get stronger. You don't need to. You can ignore it. No, bro. At level 100, doing 8 billion damage, you see a shrine, you go right to that motherfucker. You're like, boom, let's go.
Let's go. It's time.
I mean, so it's amazing how fine tuned some of the content is, and I don't know how they're gonna implement a lot of that crazy ass Path One content to match the speed in which what we're seeing in Path Two.
Yeah.
Because nothing that they've shown us so far in Path Two, it seems about speed. Nothing. And I think everything about Path One is about speed.
Yeah. About speed and just being absurd.
How fast can you clear a map? How many maps can you clear in an hour? How many divs can you make in an hour? Like everything is measured by what you can do in an hour. Everything.
It's actually funny. The guy that I invited, that was one of his questions. Like, what's your strategy do div per hour? And I was like, I don't actually know. It's like I kind of just
I've only recently
say
started
it.
using that kind of lingo, honestly. I've only recently, and it's because I'm just trying to be more methodical with like my intention because I know I have less hours to play. So I'm trying to be a little more strategic using like a wealthy craft, whatever, wealthy exile. But I'm not a robot, and I don't like playing the game like I'm a robot. So like, when someone does ask me that, I'm like, I don't really care about that. Like I early on before your Orbot got set up, I found one. I found another Orbot, and we was mapping, and we was only have like not super juice, but mid tier juice, and it wasn't crazy. And they stopped. We were making about 50 chaos per map,
Hmm.
modest. And at one point she stopped and was like, "I'm just questioning how much divs, what strategy you running? How many divs you running per map?" And I'm like, well, "I'm not really running any kind of strategy. It's just I'm just running the content that I like." He's like, "Oh, you should consider this because you're making about 20 divs an hour." Anyway, I gotta go now. Anyway, I will see you later. And he left. And I'm thinking to myself like, I get it that making money in Path is
The goal.
sometimes the goal, but I think people sometimes get too obsessed over it. Like
Yeah,
it like everything like if running the content you hate is the only way for you to make money, I don't know if that's worth it.
probably isn't, to be completely honest.
Like if I had to run Delve to be able to make money, to be able, that's the only way to make money is to run Delve. I wouldn't play that league. I probably wouldn't. I probably wouldn't. Like it's not that Delve is a. To be honest with you, I've never done Delve. I've never done Delve. I just it's not really something that I've enjoyed for the most part. Mapping seems better to me. I like the system behind it. Delve seems ironically much easier to deal with because you don't have to roll maps. You just pick a
Yeah,
direction
but
and go.
there's a thing about Infinite that I don't like. Like I
Well,
know,
there's an infinite amount of maps you run.
I know there's like that, but like, dude, I,
Well, we already know
at a
there's no
point,
infinite.
yeah,
We know
yeah,
there's
no,
not
I know,
infinite.
but the where he got, bro, and where I would have given up is just so too, dude. I think the deepest I've gotten in Delve was like level like 400.
Yeah.
Like
And they
I
say
can't.
Delve is the hardest content in the game
It is, especially when you
because
start getting into like the thousands and shit.
yeah,
Shit
it
just keeps
becomes
going.
more and more and more and more difficult. Yeah. So, um, I don't know. I mean, I'm optimistic about Path 2, but I'm not trying to jump over the fence. I'm just like, just let it just when it's ready, it's ready. Like, I'm not trying to rush it. Like, I'm not completely all the way upset that I didn't get into the beta. Um, I would have liked to. It wouldn't have been bad. But I didn't go, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think I put enough effort. Like, I didn't do that survey. I probably like subconsciously set myself up not to get it. Um, with we're gonna play it. Obviously, we're gonna fucking make content over it. But
Yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, and I'm gonna have to get to end game. I have
oh
so
yeah,
much.
I wonder. It's gonna be, man. I don't know. We've practiced this game for years now, and we know enough about it. But to achieve end game in a new game, even though it's loosely based on the first one,
I believe.
it might take us a lot longer, a little longer.
Nah, I don't think so. I think I feel like we'll be not power gaming it, so it yeah. I guess it'll take us like a campaign and shit like longer. Might be on
I'm
it
not gonna
for a day.
lie. I think I might make an overbot out the gate.
You're cracked, homie.
I'm gonna just I'm gonna fucking do it. I don't give a fuck. I know it's not gonna work. It's gonna be trash. I know it. But I'm just gonna stack any support, or I can just slap it on. It might just be three,
A three or a
a three or about some shit. I don't know.
okay. You're still cracked, but
I mean, they should have like mana reservation and all that shit there. They still might.
maybe. I don't know. I
I
don't
have
know
to see the
how
skill tree. I'll have to see the skill tree.
I don't know how GGG feels about Orobots. So
Yeah, they make it. They still allow them. So I want to be.
Yeah, but I feel like so much shit ends up making it harder to do every time.
Here's what I'm thinking about Path 2 though. The one thing I'm thinking about Path 2 is how could we synergize builds? Because that's one of the major things about Path 1
I'm gonna be
is
pissed if we tank.
huh?
I'm gonna be pissed if we need a tank.
Mm, I don't think
Think
they have a taunting system though. I don't think.
you don't know
I
that.
know this game has a taunting system where it
Yeah, but
taunts.
not. Yeah, but the taunt in this is not the same
Yeah,
as
it's
the
not the
taunt.
same. It's more like a buff, like you
Yeah,
do more
it,
damage.
yeah, it's a debuff that makes it to where the things do less damage to things around you.
Right. So I don't think that taunt is gonna be really something that is available. So tanking really not really gonna be helpful because this shit that just chases you to the ends of the fucking earth. No matter how much I hit it, no matter how much I damage it, it just fucking just goes straight to you in path one. So I
It's like
wouldn't,
kill that. I don't want it. Stop.
and
Yeah,
then so I wouldn't imagine it would be any different for path two. But synergizing builds is very essential in path one. Like if you're gonna be running an aura bot, I need to run something that maybe has elemental damage or
yeah.
something, or you have auras that give me chaos damage. You know what I mean? It's a synergistic behavior. Like, um, I don't know out the gate if that's going to be possible or how we can do that, but it's
We'll have to see. Yeah.
we'll have to at least if they release some more information once the open beta, because they're gonna do open beta probably by Christmas, possibly, because they already did a closed beta. If
Yeah.
everything goes well, they'll probably for next league they'll probably do a closed beta by Christmas, and then the game should be ready to come out by next summer if all goes well.
That would be nice. I just, by the way, blew my last 5 divine on trying to roll this chess piece.
Roll it like like fixing the
Essence, yeah. I was essence spamming it because I need a better version of my chest, man. And I don't think, yeah, yeah,
mm,
I can still get it, the aura modifier, but I think my chances are lower when I haven't put the influence on it, which
yeah, I think you need to hit it with
I
a
should probably do that,
redeemer.
yeah, yeah, but I'm poor now, so. That's what happens when I sit here and I end up like standing around
But why wouldn't
for
you
a
not
little,
hit it with a redeemer first?
because I only had 5 div and I was kind of trying to hoping to get lucky just fucking
But you
once.
need the stats for the other guys anyways.
Huh?
You need the non-curse auras.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I think that isn't only a redeemer mod. I think there
It
is
is.
no, no, no. It's two. There's two mods.
Hold on.
One of them is only 20% though.
Why don't it show me?
Maybe
Uh,
I'm wrong.
it won't show me the. It's the fucking stat. It tells you. You open the fucking.
Yeah, yeah. But see,
I can't
I
see
don't
it.
think
The controller doesn't
I
let
can't
me.
tell. I can't tell if it's an actual redeemer mod
Read it.
because
What does it say?
it doesn't have the quote.
It doesn't have a quote. No, no. Just read the. What does it say? The
Hold up.
what's the description? The tooltip. What does it say? The stat.
The suffix of redemption, but I don't know if that's actually a redeemer mod. It
Mm,
just sounds like a redeemer mod. I've been fooled by this before.
mm. There's a reason why that chess piece is redeemer and what's the other bitch? What's the other motherfucker? Baron.
Yeah, I did it because I was hoping for a couple things, but I only hit two.
That's how it is. Sometimes you only hit two, but it's two that you
Right.
really need.
But yeah, yeah, yeah. They were the two big ones, but there's like 5 things that if would have rolled with these,
I'm
I
gonna
would have kept.
I'm gonna give
But
my
yeah,
guys hold on 50,000 gold. Oh wait, did I just remove 50,000?
I think you might have.
Okay, 200,000 gold. That's gonna run for 17 hours. That means if I go to bed now, that's another 7. And if I fuck around, don't come tomorrow. Okay, all right. I want to run. I want to send out a 1 million, not 1 million. Sorry, 10 million. Um,
Shipment.
shipment. Yeah.
Do
I
you
keep
have
seeing a 50 million shipments being sent out.
do you have the
Dust.
stats to make that to the stat
Oh
like the
yeah, most
stat
of mine
bar?
are nines
Safe?
and tens.
Oh, okay.
So
Believe it or
hopefully.
not, I haven't fucking been focusing on my what's it called.
Oh, that's the last couple of weeks. That's why I've been so broke with gold. I just been rolling for a new. So most of my staff now are nines and tens.
I can the max I
Getting all
can
tens
send
is
up.
ridiculous.
I can only get 2.6 million if I send everything.
Yeah, what I do is I usually give it a full day's worth of gold to get my crops,
Mm.
and then I send out all my crops with the bonus of place. And I usually get about 4 to 5 divs from that.
Hmm.
And it's usually around, but the crops are the only thing that gives you currencies.
Oh, you said you still have money, right?
Money like divs?
Yeah.
Yeah, 5.
Okay. So, oh, and we have some in the guild stash. I didn't touch those. Yeah. I want to. We could. Can we do one more map so that we can get more gold?
Yeah, I have 3.
All right. Cool.
All right, let's wrap up this call, this recording now.
Yep.
Oh.
Thank you, everybody. Hit a button. We love buttons. You love buttons.
Buttons.
Hit that.
If you have been listening on YouTube, please go over to our Spotify channel and hit a button. It's not that
And if
we
you
don't want you to
and if
hit a
you're on
button on
Spotify,
YouTube. That's fine. It's just that just know that our recordings sometimes will be over there, and then just whatever. Anyway, just hit a button. Just we appreciate you.
and
I'm just
and
complaining.
if you're on Spotify, hit a button on our YouTube.
Yeah, yeah. We got some of the stuff over there that we do not post on here only because it's videos. And yeah, just go over there. Go over there. Check out
Yeah.
YouTube channel. It's all in the description below. You can find everything
Wherever
there.
you're at, go to the other one.
Just helps. For those of you who have hit the buttons, thank you so much for listening. We'll keep playing and see what the hell. Hopefully we get some mage blood soon. God damn it.
I know, dude. I need something, bro. I'm getting demoralized with not getting that big ticket item.
hmm
But with every map we do, bro, we're getting closer.
Yep. All right. See you.
Good night.